Welcome to my show, Musings from 20th Street. My name is Dr. Jane Goldberg. I'm a psychoanalyst, and I am also the owner of La Casa Day Spa. We're here today to do the 47th session of the Really Real Reality group therapy. We're doing 48, so we are at the next to the last episode here. And what I want to say today by way of introduction is I want to talk about the concept of therapeutic allies. The reason why I love doing groups is because I don't have just my own brain that can be smart about helping people to go through their processes, but I have the advantage of having 8, 10, some of my groups are 12 and 14 people. So I have all of those additional genius brains to help me, to help people, and to help other people directly as well. So this group has been frustrating for me because I find that there's an absence of that, the implementation of that concept, that people are not really helping each other to do process, to figure out where they're at, what they're feeling. There's a lot of kind of self-referential stuff. And so I would like to begin by reminding the group that we're here to help each other. And I hope that in today's session that we can attempt to implement that process. So having said that, group, John, you have a big fat smile on your face.
So you want to see how we're feeling. I had the thought in my mind, and I just lost it because, well, I mean, I was distracted.
Might be in hers.
But you were saying something about
Being therapeutic allies.
Yeah, but I had a thought in my mind. I just have to come back to it. I'm sorry.
A thought or a feeling?
It was both, I think. It had to. She was saying, but then she was saying, why are we here we're here to get help, but we should be communicating what it is that's bothering us, so to speak, right?
Right.
I thought she said within the
Well,
context.
I'm going to step in
I thought
and
we've been
then let
doing
you
more
think about it for a while.
Supportive and helpful towards each other, I think.
Right. Walter? I have something to say.
But she was.
So I believe that I have been an ally to Barb. Do you think I've been an enabler or an ally?
Ally.
Oh, that guy's gone.
But no, you also have enabled
I've
her.
enabled a little bit.
Because in the last group, for instance, you were talking to Shanti, and I thought it was really valuable what you were saying, and she was just completely talking over you, and you ignored it. And you shouldn't have ignored it.
Okay.
It's rude when she talks while you're talking. And
Do you think it's rude?
I just never see it that way.
No,
'Cause
you
I
don't
do
see
that
it,
with
'cause
the
she
people.
just does it.
I just,
Yeah.
you know, it's.
But okay, so you're enabling her by not helping her to see it.
But
It
what
is-
do I
it- the-
say? Do I just keep saying, Barb, it's rude to do that?
yeah, I mean,
Just
we're not
blatantly
perfect.
tell her?
None
Because
of
I
us are
know she's
perfect
gonna
in
keep
this
doing it.
room.
I just know she is.
Well, you cannot say it's rude. You can let me say it's rude.
you do
but
say
you
it's
might, but yes, but
All
you
the
might,
time.
you might have a feeling about it. You might not appreciate it.
Sometimes
you might,
I don't appreciate it. I think I'd let her know.
He's on it,
Yeah,
but he does
I
it in
think
a
I do let
loving
her know.
way. People, most of the people here, with the exception of Carol, are in attack mode. It's like, "Argh."
I think I
Suzanne-
try to let her
Suzanne.
know, and I think most of the time she sees that I.
But he
you
does
know,
it in
that
a
I do. I mean, I try
loving
to.
way.
But I realize
She
I
just
do
did it.
enable. I know she just did it. But I'm so used to it.
but it's, so you're used to, you live with a serial killer.
No,
and
I
you're
know,
used to,
I know, I
he
know.
comes home with blood on his hands.
Come
But
on,
Well,
that
I know
is
the
so
I know the
like-
analogy is a
I
little
know.
nuts, but
Yeah.
I understand.
She's not
Okay, so I enable a bit, but I
Yes.
do believe I have been her ally.
I think your affection for her has been very valuable for her. It's been very important and meaningful to her.
Cool.
And I feel the same about him because from day one he's had my back,
And she's
and
been
I've
my
had
ally
his
too.
back.
So I appreciate that.
You don't need anyone for your back.
Well, no, it's just that the people here just attack each other. Is there so much? No, there's no love.
You've
There's
said
no
this from the very beginning,
compassion.
you know.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
been that way.
Barbara, you just can't keep saying that.
Okay.
You're the one that couldn't recognize the love that was coming toward you in the last group.
That's true.
Well, I'm just saying.
You keep saying, what love are you showing?
I show plenty of love. There's
Okay.
people here that I've been supporting since day one. But my attitude is, if you attack me,
How are
first, I
supporting
go back.
Carol? Carol's sitting next to you. She didn't
I
say a
told her
word.
to speak.
She didn't say a word in the last session,
I know
and she's
that.
not saying. So you told her to speak. Is
I
she
did tell her to
speaking?
speak. No, she
Are you
doesn't want
helping
to.
her to speak?
I would love her to speak because she's very bright and she's smart and she always has something to add. And I'm very upset. I'm upset, angry that she's not saying anything now. Well, let's spread the anger or the love, but it's with love. It's with love. So say something. could
It's
you?
not that I don't really feel compelled to talk all the time.
Or,
like-
no, but you haven't
like
talked to
you.
me. No, I know. But,
But I have had thoughts and feelings during the group, but I didn't feel particularly motivated to jump in. I don't know. I feel like it's, you know, the Obama thing upset
Yeah,
me.
upset
I
me
don't.
too.
I don't
Yeah, me
like
too.
that. I don't like
What Obama thing?
Oh,
Josh's comment
is
about
weird
Obama.
all of a
about
sudden we're in
Obama.
politics.
And
What
you
did he
know,
say?
it's like
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Well,
Yeah,
in case
it-
the audience,
No, don't worry
they
about it.
may want to recap.
It
of what
doesn't really
Josh
matter,
said.
but
Well,
just stuff like that bugs me. You know, like because you speak with such authority and like you are a contributing guy in the group.
well,
So I always am anxious to hear what you have to say, but then you come up with something like that, and it's
yeah,
like,
I'm
Well, he
trying to
makes the
give
grand
people
statement, right?
the
That's what-
reason for feeling the feelings I have.
well, I
Like,
couldn't
for
relate to any of
instance,
that either. All
for
the anger.
example-
Why are you so angry?
Like, well, here is, yesterday I was selling books in front of, say, bars. So besides being very annoyed by all these affluent people coming out with hundreds of dollars worth of bags of groceries and hailing a cab or getting a chauffeur.
Do you want to
I
show
don't
it?
have-
Do you want to show any interest in Carol?
Because you're not even responding to her.
Yes. Yes.
Well, what interest would you have in Carol?
But here's the thing. So I sold one book.
No, Josh, could you not leave the room? Could you stay in the room and be with us in terms of the process of
Yeah.
this group?
Respond
Yeah.
to her, which she just
So Carol said something to you. She said what you said annoyed her.
Yeah, and address that.
Yes, if you
Address
want
it.
to, you're not
Well,
required to. But
well,
but when
I-
you leave the room, you kind of leave us.
Well, he was trying to make a social point. He said
Oh,
that he
I
was
see.
sitting there selling books.
No one
And
cares.
the rich people
Yeah,
were
we
coming
don't
by,
care. Rich
and it gave
people
him this
have-
Obama thing.
But
came
that's
out.
not part of the
So he was
group.
really projecting something internal in a kind of
I'm not
in a
rich.
kind of macro the micro.
But when he does that, John,
But he
and
does
when
it all
you
the time.
and when you do it, then you're leaving us.
Right. No, I'm just trying to bring everybody here, let him know what he's doing here
I
is that
see.
he's leaving the room, but I'm agreeing
But he's
with you.
leaving Carol, and
Right,
Carol's
because Carol,
not getting
because
a
of the Obama
response.
statement, and he can
And I got upset about
articulate-
that too, by the way.
I
Well-
thought the overriding question was, why are you angry, Josh? And he was talking
That
about
was
why
the
he's
question.
angry.
Now,
but
what's the-
I wouldn't
missed
say that's the
something
overriding.
that came from you.
I feel
No.
like, look, this is toward the end of all of our sessions, and I admit to all of you, I appreciate you. I mean, I've gotten a lot out of this. I didn't really know if I would or not. I didn't come in here finding or looking to be cured of anything. I didn't. I think in my life, though, I am an improved version of myself because I've been involved here. But also, it's toward the end, and I guess I've lost some interest. I don't feel motivated to talk about anything, especially, and so I just sit here. And I know it seems boring on TV, but I
like
made
I
a
was gonna say
commitment,
that.
and damn it, I was gonna show up every time, But I just feel like I don't.
But see, what you're doing right now is totally brilliant. Because what you're doing, even saying, I've kind of withdrawn and we're just coming to the
Okay.
end and I'm just getting through it.
Carol.
This is your process. And you just verbalized your process, where you're at emotionally in relation to us. It's brilliant.
You're good.
You are completely cooperative with what it is that I'm asking.
Let me explain my
No,
process.
no.
Don't.
My process.
Only if you stay in
Yeah.
this room.
Okay. Here is the thing. Okay, I have medical problems. Why didn't Barack give me the same?
You're out of the
talking
room.
about this?
plan
You're
he had?
you're out of the room.
This is a different. You're doing 60
I
minutes.
understand.
Molly, where are you at?
Yeah, Molly.
She's with me.
I don't feel like there's a lot of space in this room
Yeah.
for people to really talk about what's going on.
You get shot down.
Well said.
Yeah, and then you get shut down when you do.
And how does that make you feel?
I should have stayed in the room, then she wouldn't have been offended.
You probably
Your
shouldn't
health
have
is in
come
the
today,
room.
Josh.
Yeah,
It's
Josh,
not- it's not in
seriously.
this
Yeah,
room.
because it's
His
just
health is in
going.
his room, and Barack might affect you.
Oh,
but
come on.
Still, how were you relating to Carol, and how was Carol relating to
And
you?
what happened to Molly?
Yeah, what happened to Molly?
Molly
Walter?
just
No,
left the room.
We're done with that. Let's
Yeah,
go back
let's
to
go.
Molly.
Let's
I'm
progress.
sure we never
Please.
addressed it. We never really got
Walter?
into it.
Walter, can we progress
I'm
to
sorry,
Molly?
you're so
We never got
quiet.
into
We
that
started off not
between now.
progressing to Molly in
I'm
session
sorry
2
you're so
or whatever it
quiet.
was.
And
Josh,
and Barbara had to make
Molly,
a note that
Molly
you're
has
not talking.
Molly has the floor.
What are we?
I mean, I don't have a lot to say. It just doesn't make me feel like participating.
Yeah.
Because when there's no space, it's like, all right, I'll just sit and watch the circus.
As a psychoanalyst, do you ever like screen a group and put people like
Carefully.
Yeah.
me and Molly and people that want to like talk about
I usually
Progressive-
I
like,
usually work with patients for
productive.
2 years before I put them into a group.
Oh, so
I'm
that's
very careful in how. So yes, this was a conglomerate.
Molly
But
was cut
listen,
off.
Molly, this is what I want to say to you. That it was a wonderful communication. I appreciate it, but it was vague. If you don't, yes, nebulous. If you don't feel space, it's not because the walls are, coming in on you. If you don't feel space, it's because of specific people saying specific things in specific ways. And if you want to be in this process, you would address that. You'd say, Josh, I don't really feel connected when you talk because you're not really connecting to what's happening in the room. You'd say, Barbara, you talk too much. You'd say, I don't know, you'd say, John, you get very intellectual. You'd say, Walter, you get too loud. You'd be saying all the things that are in your mind.
Well, I guess when they're talking, I have those feelings, but when you ask me what I feel, then all of a sudden they're not talking, so therefore I'm not feeling those feelings.
At that moment.
At that
yeah.
moment.
You don't have things that stick
Makes
with
sense
you,
to me.
like they
Well,
just
I mean,
ruminate?
I could go through. I mean, it just boggles my mind that I feel like I'm here on the last episode, and it's as if the group is on its first episode.
I mean, that's what
Next to
I said.
last.
That's what I said this morning.
I mean, I'm wondering, I'm hoping that Barbara, you'll create space for people and be able to focus on what other people are saying, just like you're doing right now, which is fascinating. And no, I mean, that's a big step forward. And Carol is always, the great observer, and really is empathetic with people. And and Walter, I feel like you're still fighting the method, and that just amuses me in a way because it's a. And actually, I got some intellectual background on why it works. Can I give kind of why the method works?
Juxtaposing. I'm juxtaposing.
Well, here's what allegedly how it works is that your limbic brain or the amphibious brain is here, and that's where I guess the feelings come from. And then layered on top of that is the mammalian brain, and then you have language on top of this.
Yeah.
And all these feelings can come up here, but only through language can we somehow talk back down the chain. So that's why it allegedly works.
No, not only through language. It's just that this is the psychoanalytic method. I don't think Jane is purporting to invalidate all other methods or say that mine is the very best.
You may be having a feeling reaction to what Walter just said.
I think just try the method. You're here. You've got a
Exactly.
huge opportunity. Jane is a brilliant psychoanalyst.
I have tried
So
it
you're
a
trying.
few times,
You're
and I've
trying
gotten
to.
something out of it. Yes.
You're trying to convince him, but is
Well-
there a feeling behind that?
I just-
Irritation.
I mean, it's sort of sad. I guess that I am sad that people have not really availed
Molly.
themselves.
Molly, I know you were irritated.
Well, okay, it irritates me then. Okay, then it irritates me that people don't.
Do you really not know? Did you not know that you were irritated with Walter?
Well, because it's a mixture of sadness, because it's sort of, I feel like it's the last episode.
Did you not know you were also irritated?
Well, yes, I know I'm irritated, but
What prevented you from saying that?
I mean,
That's really important for you to know. because it's the key to your depression.
I mean, yeah, I'm irritated, or Anyway, it's sad that it is the last couple.
It's more irritating than it is sad.
I think it's
Is it-
I
is it
thought it was
okay?
amusing.
irritates the shit out of me. I like you, Walter, but it just bugs the
Sure,
hell out of
find
me
it
when you keep
amusing.
bringing that up.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when the
So
tape is in
it
rewind,
really
the
is
first
annoying
episode.
because we've heard it, we understood it, and we leave it.
I'm
Wait,
not sure
wait,
you
wait.
understood what I said
No,
today.
I completely understood what you said.
Now I do.
Completely.
Now I'm sure you understand what I said
Completely.
today. But I wasn't sure that you understood what I said before that. And I just, yes, I satisfied myself, even if
That's
it got
great.
under your skin in a way and got you irritated. I wanted to make my point, and I got well heard. And,
But
and
Walter,
bravo for me.
I have a
And
feeling about
I
what
was
you're
asking.
saying.
I'm sorry.
You have had several weeks in here when Molly wasn't here to witness you being cooperative. And when you were cooperating
Yeah, okay.
It
better,
worked.
you were kind of proud of yourself and you were kind of happier and you understood the value and the benefits you could derive from cooperating. And you did miss some of that, but I was shocked to see you go digress and go back
Right.
to this
Okay, it
so
doesn't-
quickly.
I agree.
It doesn't stop
at the
there.
beginning.
It doesn't.
Like when you were said, hey, someone's breathing really heavy. Well, I have to breathe. But you don't have to breathe as heavy. Or you could move your mic down.
You don't
Or you
know.
could say, could you turn the
He does
mic
have
You
to
down?
don't know how I
Right.
feel in my body with my breathing,
You're
and my
right.
heart condition.
You're right. But I feel like you just wanted to get mad right away. There was no.
You mean when the group started?
Yeah.
Well, I was irritated with that.
But I don't think I think you were angrier than you have been for a couple of months. So quickly, and I thought, what is going on with you?
There's no doubt that anytime old stuff can get triggered along with new stuff that comes at a particular instance.
Yeah.
So if you caught some old anger in me, sure, you might be right. But still, I was irritated with that, and it pretty well passed. You know, people addressed me, Paula addressed me, and it got communicated, so I let,
Okay.
let it go then.
So,
Well enough, I think.
Molly,
But it got everybody upset first. I wasn't scared of you. I never
I'm-
have
he wasn't
been.
that
I'm glad.
upset.
But I don't like to see you so upset. I don't like that, especially with a heart condition. You know?
Yeah, you don't want
He
to drop
thinks it
dead on
helps him, then.
television. Believe me, it's not.
So, I'd like to go back to Molly. Why can't you just get pissed off at
Wait, I have a question, real quick about Molly.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't.
No, that's good.
You
it's
did
because
that.
She's
I
on a roll.
did.
Yeah, you
Go
did.
for it.
Now that's improvement for Carol.
But I really,
You have to
Yes, I
understand.
didn't like it.
I'm sorry.
No, she's
I wanted
good.
to know if Molly, you said that you found it humorous that he hadn't gone on, but then I wondered, did you just not develop the feeling that you were angry, or do you not get angry at stuff like that? I really
I
don't
don't
get
think
angry.
she gets angry.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I do.
Because you like
But
her.
I get.
Were you
irritated.
angry at him?
I did ask you that before. Are you angry at me?
Was that the word you used?
I
Angry?
don't get
Irritated.
Irritated.
I'm irritated, but not angry.
She said she was
Yeah,
sad
you sound angry
and
right
irritated.
now.
And I understand that she was
It
sad.
doesn't
because
matter
it's
to
There's
me.
anger in
Wednesday.
that
I get all
statement.
that.
If you want to communicate whatever that feeling is in more detail, I'm open to listening and looking.
It just, I don't believe you.
Well, you got the chance to test it out right now.
I'm just telling
It may hurt me, but I mean, I'll just.
Oh, she's putting the
I'll
guilt
take it.
trip
I'm
on
not
her
sure how
now,
I'll feel about it, but I'm certainly not going to punch you in the nose or stop you in any way. So if
I'm
you-
not worried about you punching me
Yeah.
in the
Okay.
nose.
All right.
Oh, Jesus, where are we going with this?
He's inviting you.
Well, for me, it's just a statement. I mean, it seems to me that, I mean, now I feel like you're actually cooperating with the process, so it's no longer an issue. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's kind of funny in a way, but it makes me suddenly wonder what all this stuff, all this chatter and everything that Jane has talked about that goes on. Why don't we do this more?
Because there doesn't
We,
seem to
all
be
of
a
us.
lot of interest in it. People are more interested in complaining and acting out and talking about all kinds of other stuff.
Which makes me also go on to ideas I have about other methods besides psychoanalytic.
don't do
Are there
that,
other
please
ways?
don't.
No, but-
It just makes me ask that question. Are there other ways?
Of course there are, but my attitude is that you've got a real opportunity here in a psychoanalytic group to follow the method to see if it works.
So
I wonder
why
if
do
Walter,
other people go
Walter,
with all the chatter?
Walter, I wonder if Walter does not recognize that when he brings up the other method conversation, that it's hostile to me.
Oh.
It's pretty disrespectful.
Yeah, because she has a certain way of
Well, it's
doing. She's
what
Freud.
it's about.
She's Freud. Now, a lot of people are not into Freud. There's Gestalt. There's what is it, the DBT.
This
There's
is just the
different
method we're
forms.
doing. So
They're different forms.
So
this
it's
is the one you
semi-disrespectful.
committed
I'm
to
searching
for-
an
This is
active
committed,
mind.
right.
I'm a searching active mind. I am an
Go on to
emotional
the
person. I have
next
some
group and you'll
capability
have another
to communicate and
thing.
express feelings. And I also have a searching and active mind that wants the best
over there.
in this world. I really want to see. I like development.
I
So
want
I'm
you
bound-
to have a searching and active mind, but in this context, what I want you to do is to cooperate with this method that I have committed to practicing with you.
Well, I've cooperated with it some of the time. And
Yes, you
yes,
have.
what else there is?
So
yes.
Walter,
Some of the
I'm going to ask Shanti the question. Do you think that when Walter brings up other methods and his belief in other methods, that he does not recognize that it's hostile to me?
Do I think that he recognizes that?
Do you
It's,
think that he does not recognize?
I think when he said it, he didn't think it. But I think when you brought it up, he probably said, well, no, maybe I was disrespectful, but I didn't intend for it to be. And that brings up something extraordinarily important. I think most of the time, this is my point of view, which you asked for, we talk from our point of view without the consideration of what impact this might be having on the other person, either the one to whom we are speaking or about whom we are speaking. So I want to just veer from that for a moment by saying I think we're being, excellent point that you've made, but notwithstanding, I think we're being very hard on ourselves. This is a really very young group. And young groups act kind of infantile. And by that I mean it's me first, and maybe I'll have a little left over for you, but most of the time I see that it's a very young group, and it is a young group. I mean, you're consolidating a lot in a short period of time.
right.
And what we're asking of ourselves is a little difficult. It's a
very
challenge.
difficult.
First of all, we've got an authority that's saying this is what I want you kids to do. And we're not kids, but that's, in a way, the way we might feel in relation to authority. That says, these are the rules. Well, we're adults, and we don't always want to follow the rules. And there are difficulties with this, and I can appreciate it and respect it, because I've had a lot of reactions to what goes on here.
Well,
Yes.
I've had a lot of trouble. I mean, since the very beginning, and I don't know whether I've progressed or not because
I think you
I'm
have.
complicated. I'm very
No, I
complicated.
think you have. I think after meeting Suzanne last week, I think it redeemed you.
It redeemed me.
Quite frankly, yes, it did, and I had a different attitude toward
that's
you.
pretty funny.
No, believe it. No, seriously. I mean, I don't think of you as a bad person. I never thought it like that at all.
Well, I'm not a bad person.
I didn't
I'm
think
really
you were.
not. I'm not
we-
evil all the time.
I just, I don't.
Thanks
I don't
for
think
that.
people here hate you or dislike you, or I don't think it's really like that. I think they like you.
Well, thank you. It's
I
nice
want to
to
address
hear
you on the
that for a
hostility thing,
change.
There you
Jane.
go.
Okay,
Now
wait.
or later?
Later.
I'll wait.
Because I want to respond to Shanti. You're very right that this is a young group, and it's been, as I keep saying, there's been a learning curve in terms of understanding what this process is. Normally, when I do group therapy, I have established group. I mean, only 3 times in my life have I started a group from scratch.
It's
But
a challenge.
yes, but and
for
those
everyone.
groups still now 30 years later are still in existence.
Congratulations.
Though some people have left and new people have joined, so they're not completely intact as they were 30 years ago. But there's still, for each of them, there's a core of people that remains. So usually I give new members the instruction of just observing for a while in order to get the lay of the land.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do that
couldn't do
here.
that.
And everybody here has had more or less individual therapy in the past. And so, although the person who's had no therapy, Carol, seems to be quite brilliant at this process, even with no.
Actually, I went to a psychiatrist for marriage counseling. and we ended in divorce anyway. But we felt good that we had explored some, some other possibilities with each other through therapy. So I did have that. I've just never been in a group therapy situation.
You're very together, though. Out of everyone in this group, I hate to be judgmental, but including me, I know I'm probably the weirdest in the group. But you're very together. You're so together, and you're very compassionate.
Nobody really knows me very well.
I don't know, but from what I know of you,
yes, I feel good about who I am.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of areas that I wish I were so much better at.
but everybody feels
I wanna
that
grow.
way, though.
That's
you
what I
grow
think the
better than most
opportunity in
people.
the group is sometimes to take some risks and show that side of ourselves which we might not want to reveal, to see how the group can enable us to transcend the problem, as it were.
Well, I've been frustrated, honestly, with this group. When I have shared, I felt like I was misinterpreted, so
Many
wrong,
times,
so
many
far
times.
off.
Does that happen in the
I felt like I've
I'm
tried to
sorry.
share and I haven't been able to. People cut me off, they change the subject. Nobody knows anything about me. I mean, really.
You shared about
Think about
your
it.
parents, though.
One time.
Yeah.
One
I
episode.
know,
You're
but that
the,
was it.
One episode I
Yeah.
talked about that, and one episode I talked about a
You're
relationship.
the
One
you're the
episode.
upper Gruppenführer of the group.
Excuse me?
You're the upper Gruppenführer of the.
What does that
What?
mean?
What,
The
he's
over
Hitler?
group leader.
Is that what it is?
Yours.
I really wanted to share though, and I haven't been able to.
The magic words.
It's been
I
really
have a
frustrating, like a
feeling.
struggle to be able to have
you
to do
get
it.
shut down.
So I just pretty much gave up midway.
Yeah, but that's not what I was referring to.
Try the magic words.
I was referring to just exposing, not giving a history, not giving a justification, which history very often is. This is why I am the way I am. But actually being who you might be out there
Right.
and let it happen in here.
I get it.
Right? So the opportunity, I mean, Barbara does it all the time. I mean, she just,
What? What do I do?
She is who she is, and she does.
lets it all hang out.
Totally.
Yeah, you should be who you are
difficult
here
to do
and not
that.
play a role. You shouldn't be
For me.
playing a role here.
I think when
Okay.
I
People
think-
come here and they play a role and they're not being who they really are.
No, that's
and they
not
don't get
true.
anything out of the therapy. No, I'm not saying you.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
We've had people come here
true.
who were putting on an act
Yes.
and they weren't they weren't therapy material.
Right.
They didn't want to learn anything. They just wanted to come here because it was a gimmick or
Yeah.
something.
They wanted to be on
Let me
television.
ask
But then there are people who get involved in therapy,
Excuse me.
and it's obvious that it's not helping them. No matter what you do, and you've noticed that, well, this guy may have had problems in the past where he's never completed any kind of therapy at all. And I
Shanti,
think
do
that's
you
what
want to,
brings me back to Walter.
do you wanna
I
sum
think
up?
Walter is.
John, let's let Shanti
Oh,
sum up.
okay.
We have just a few seconds.
A few seconds to sum up. Geez, that's putting me on the spot, really. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what you want me to say about it to sum up what.
Well, you started to say something, and John kept talking. So
Okay,
I was
do
curious
I
what
want to
that was.
respond to what John was saying? Oh, God. I almost feel like saying no because yes, I'll tell you what I wanted to say. When we came into the group, each of us must have had an expectation of what one wanted to get from it. And it would seem to me that the way to be able to handle this problem, which I see the group having, is for everyone to take responsibility for what I want to get out of from you. This is what I want from
agree.
you.
I agree.
Like, sort of like going around. That would be very structured, and I'm not usually up for
I
structure.
agree with you.
But what do you want? And if you really want something, how do you get it? And this is what we do in life. We want something, how do we get it? We have to ask for it. We have to have some humility to say, even if it's saying, I don't know what the hell I want.
That's
Right.
true. You don't
That's
know what's
what-
wrong
so
with you
People just
sometimes.
don't have it. They just,
Well,
no
okay,
matter
we
how you
can't-
try to help them.
What
But
you're
that's an
doing,
illness.
what you're doing now,
illness.
what you're doing now is you're talking about people, and what you're supposed to be doing now is saying what you want, what your problems. Let's not generalize about the world
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
Let's take responsibility for what we want and how we have failed to get what we want
Right.
at this stage of the game in our life.
Yeah.
Sometimes we want to change others.
Well, that's
control.
where everything.
That's a
That's
control.
where everything goes haywire. That's marriage, for example. You change if you love me.
Well, any relationship
Listen,
you
we
want
can't
people to
change
change.
anybody. Look what it is to change ourselves. Good Lord, look
Look at
what it-
Obama. No, just
I realize.
Really changing yourself, working on yourself will inspire others. It will
hard.
move
Okay, let's
others.
get ready for the third.
Are we done?
Most of that was
there's
not on tape.
Thank God.
That's sad.
Yeah, well, it's